Once upon a time, in a small village between a wide forest and a calm blue sea, there lived a boy named Salim. Salim was known for his kind heart and his endless curiosity. He loved exploring, discovering new things, and asking questions that grown-ups never even thought about. One bright morning, Salim decided to go on a small adventure into the forest to look for something magical that people in the village called the dancing light, a tiny glowing light that only appeared to good-hearted children for a few seconds before it disappeared like a dream. Salim woke up early, put on his blue hat, packed his little bag, and told his mother, "I'll be back before sunset, Mama." His mother smiled gently, patted his hair, and said, "Be careful, and always listen to your heart. It knows the way." With excitement in his steps, Salim entered the forest. The trees were tall enough to touch the clouds. The birds sang cheerful songs, and the wind smelt like fresh leaves and adventure. Salim walked deeper and deeper, watching butterflies dance in the air and listening to the soft sound of the river sparkling like silver. Suddenly, something caught his eye. A tiny glowing light moved between the trees. It wasn't a bird nor an animal, just a bright, mysterious sparkle that flickered and disappeared. "The dancing light!" Salim whispered and hurried after it. But every time he got closer, the light slipped farther away, leading him to a place he had never seen before. There, hidden in the heart of the forest, stood an old gate made of twisted tree roots. It had strange symbols carved on it and a warm, welcoming glow around it. When Salim touched the gate, it slowly opened with a soft creak, and a small voice that sounded like a giggling child asked, "Do you want to come inside?" Salim hesitated for a moment, then nodded bravely. Yes. As soon as he stepped inside, Salim found himself in a world unlike anything he had ever imagined. This magical place was filled with small, wonderful creatures. Squirrels that talked, flowers that laughed when you touched them, raindrops floating in midair without falling, and fish swimming in the sky. From behind a glowing bush, a tiny creature as small as Salim's hand fluttered toward him. It had sparkling wings like a butterfly and bright, kind eyes. "I'm Lilo, the guardian of the dancing light," the little creature said cheerfully. "And I'm Salim. I came to discover its secret." Lilo giggled. "There's no magic trick. The dancing light is simply a sign for children with pure hearts and bright curiosity. That's why you saw it." Lilo took Salim around the magical forest. Salim saw trees with fruits that change flavors depending on your mood, a floating cat with wings that sang lullabies, and colorful plants that glowed like tiny lanterns. Salim laughed, clapped, and wished he could stay forever. But suddenly, the bright, colorful world started shaking. The ground rumbled, the colors faded, and strange gray fog spread everywhere. Lilo gasped in fear. "Oh no! The Shadow King has awakened!" Salim's eyes widened. "Who's the Shadow King?" "He is a giant creature who lives deep under the forest. He doesn't like colors, joy, or laughter. He wants to turn everything into darkness. He wakes up every 100 years. Only a brave child can stop him. Salim remembered his mother's words. Listen to your heart, it knows the way. He placed his hand on his chest, took a deep breath, and told Lilo, "Take me to him. I'll try." Lilo guided him through a dark tunnel underground until they reached a huge cave. There stood the Shadow King, a tall, dark figure with smoke for eyes. He spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. "Who dares enter my kingdom?" Salim trembled but stepped forward. "My name is Salim, and I won't let you turn this beautiful world into darkness." The Shadow King laughed. "And what can a small child do to stop me?" Salim lifted his head and said boldly, "Something you cannot do." "And what is that?" the Shadow King growled. Salim smiled softly. "I can shine." He closed his eyes tightly and thought of every beautiful thing he had seen. The laughing flowers, the singing cat, Lilo's tiny wings, the glowing trees, the birds, and the smile on his mother's face. With every good memory, a warm light grew inside his chest. It grew brighter and brighter until it filled the whole cave like a rising sun. The Shadow King screamed as he dissolved into dust. "No, light, too strong!" And just like that, the darkness vanished. Colors returned, the magical world sparkled again, and Lilo floated around Salim shouting joyfully, "You did it! You're the first child in 1,000 years to defeat the Shadow King!" Salim smiled happily, but he felt the forest calling him home. Lilo opened a small golden doorway that led back to the real forest. "You will always be our friend, Salim. Visit whenever your heart shines." Salim stepped through the doorway and found himself back near his village just as the sun was setting. His mother was waiting, and when she saw him, she ran to hug him. "Did you listen to your heart?" she asked softly. Salim hugged her tighter and said, "Yes, Mama, and I found a light that never fades." From that day on, Salim told other children about the dancing light and taught them that kindness and courage could brighten any darkness, even the deepest parts of a forest.